This is my professional portfolio website, Tapestry Learning. The gist behind Tapestry Learning is this belief that the literary, visual, and performing arts interweave stories, expressions, imagery, and representations, and that we, the learners, can interweave our own interpretations to build meaning and understanding. Now, because I'm deeply committed to the public-facing digital arts and humanities, one of my primary tasks when I'm doing a course build is to ensure the beauty of its design. So that philosophy of design has to do with honoring the learning process, honoring the learner's experience, but also honoring the topics we're grappling with, complex issues affecting humanity, topics on human loss and suffering, complex representations of the human experience. So I'd like to show you a course that demonstrates this and more, and that is a course that I built in November and December of 2021 on the 2018 Netflix film by Alfonso Cuarón called Roma. Now this course was built for undergraduates. I'll show you the learning objectives, but it could easily be scaled up and for museum programs, for film screening events, for book clubs, that sort of thing. So keeping the different audiences in mind, what I'd like to show you is an approach to quizzing that progresses from the behaviorist sort of approach to a more constructivist approach. And constructivism is really the heart of my philosophy of learning. So this first quiz, this is just sort of the first page that introduces students to taking the course. And this quiz is simply identify the character, the character's role, the character's name. So I would definitely call this behaviorist approach, testing the retention of knowledge. But moving on to more complex testing approaches. So as we delve into how characters are represented and how we can best analyze a character from the film Roma, this quiz invites students to begin to make meaning, and a constructivist approach does consider the learner to be a meaning maker. So I ask students to grapple with the negative and positive qualities of characters from popular media. Don Draper, I believe I have Ebenezer Scrooge in here. And as they do this work, they may begin to shift or reintegrate their perspectives on fictional characters. And then going one step further, after they finish this module on academic writing, I ask students to identify a thesis inside of three blog posts. Well, one is a movie review from the New Yorker, and then 2 blog posts. And so as they identify not the best thesis, but what is the thesis, they get instant feedback from me, which is reasoned, and it's highly interactive. So just some guidelines that I was using to make this course. I'm just going to sort of click around while I talk about it. And this is the main course page. So some guidelines that I was keeping in mind that I feel strongly about are that the learning outcomes should be very clear, very transparent to the learner from the outset. There should be some short-term rewards, some long-term sort of concepts or outcomes to think about and to work towards. And this clarity and transparency should really motivate the learner. And in terms of motivation, I do believe that when we ask students to think and reflect versus just regurgitate, they are going to be more engaged. And there's opportunities here for peer and community engagement, and that brings us to sort of the aha moment for me. This semester, this is the last course I'm taking for the certificate in learning design and technology. And this was sort of I hand drew this. This was sort of my response to not only the pandemic and the sort of disruption that we've all experienced, how we think about learning itself, right? That there's a real opportunity here to connect, to adapt, to respond, to apply or reapply what we know, and to build community, right? Build community, build flexibility. And the aha moment, which is this is sort of the result of it, came from this reading. And this is a reading from George Simmons, and he presents his philosophy of connectivism, which was a new philosophy for me, but it really became the driving philosophy behind my course build on the film Roma. And I just want to share with you a quote here from George Simmons, highlighted here in green. And I am committed to this idea that we must prepare learners for, the American Association of Universities and Colleges calls it unscripted problems the world is facing, but we must prepare learners to face this new reality, which George Simmons is calling chaos, and to make meaning of the patterns. And by making meaning, they can form connections, and in fact, they can build community. That was my huge aha moment. And so my pitch would be that the arts and humanities may do this best. Thank you.